Good morning everybody, and thanks for checking out the video this week. Some of you might have noticed the video I posted this morning showing me using my MIDI controller as a EQ, like a level indicator. And I did that just using InputMapper and some basic standard plugins that are already out there. I'm still finalizing the MIDI plugin, and I hope to get that out sometime within the next week or so. And it was really just a demonstration of how well the latency's doing in InputMapper 2. Initially that was a big concern, especially when I was working with a bunch of mapping channels. But that demonstration I posted this morning showed 40 different channels, all with their own like logic and all that stuff to indicate when the LED should come on or off. And it was working pretty rapidly. I had it set fixed to 100 Hertz. That's 100 iterations a second, and the only reason I even set it to that was because I didn't want it to chew up too much of my CPU, and it worked great. The CPU load was barely anything, so I mean everything's working great on that, so I hope to get that out pretty soon. Speaking of the CPU usage, I've also been working on a plugin that monitors PC stats. Not sure how useful it's going to be to a lot of people, but I just thought it would be a cool thing available to, for people to play around with. And what it does is it just shows the memory usage, the CPU usage, like a PC battery if you're playing on a laptop or something like that. And it puts those all as input channels as a actual device. So anything you can do with any other controller now. You can have this, maybe if it's battery levels on your laptop is getting low, it'll flash the LED bar on your DualShock, something like that. Like I said, I'm just creating the tools. I haven't really thought the implementation too far through. Some of you might have noticed that I actually, for the first time in maybe a couple of years, spent some time playing a game for the past week or so. Some of you hit me up on Steam there. I was playing Watch Dogs. I have never played that game yet. So despite all the bad hype the game got, I'm a couple hours into it, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it. The last game that I've played through to completion was Grand Theft Auto 5. Hopefully I'm going to be able to take some time and be able to play some of these games through. I've got games just sitting in my library that I haven't touched yet. Metal Gear Solid 5. Couple other, like Shadow of Mordor, like all the games that have won Game of the Year for the past couple years. I bought them and then they've just been sitting there, so hopefully I can spend some time playing those. I want to take some time just to let people know. I know that there have been people contacting me through personal messages and trying to get a hold of me directly by email for support. I just need to let you guys know I am the only person that works on this project, so I have a full-time job and a life outside of this, so if I don't get a hold of or get back to you like the same day or even the next day, then just send me another message. Don't get mad at me, because I mean I set a pretty clear line between this project, which is just my free time project, and business and the rest of my life, and that's just to keep me from going insane. And that's the only reason this project has lasted as long as it has. Because I set those boundaries. So just if I overlook something you try to get a hold of me about, just send me a polite reminder. If it's a support related issue, try to keep it limited to the forums. Don't try to use it put it on the YouTube channel or anything like that, because I want to try to really funnel everything into the forums. That way there's a chance that other people who have the same issue can chime in, or people that have found solutions to it can chime in. Or even if it's an issue that's already been previously resolved, it'll be up there on the forums. But the forum really helps take some of the work of answering duplicate questions off my hands, which is important with the limited amount of time that I have to spend on this project. But beyond that, if it's something of a personal nature, like you have issues with your account or something, then go ahead and try to contact me directly. But the other issue is that email system on our website. I get so much spam and stuff through that from people trying to sell me their website services and SEO and all that nonsense, that it's really easy for me to overlook stuff. So Feel free to hit me up with an alternate form of contact, or even in the forums say, hey, I sent you a email or a private message on this date at this time, or roundabouts, and that'll give me a chance to actually go in and find it or narrow it down a little better. Got a new version of InputMapper that's going to be coming out probably today. It's going to have a couple new input types in it. I'm working on a byte array type, and that's going to start enabling me to use larger chunks of data in mapping. And this is primarily because I'm starting to look into like using Arduino boards and Pi boards and all those little the little programmable boards, and I want to be able to integrate those in InputMapper and use stuff like, you know, your MIDI controllers and your DualShocks and any other controller you have to control what these boards do. And I thought it might be a cool little side project for the InputMapper program to be able to do that stuff. So I've started to see some renewed interest in InputMapper. Website traffic has spiked a little bit, donations have gone up a little bit. It might be, mostly due to the reason InputMapper 2 is now, starting to support more controllers. So that's drawing people in that are using other programs, or, using multiple programs to handle their different controllers. They're trying to centralize it all. So that's pretty cool. And, it'd be great if you guys could get out there, spread the word a little bit. We're not a final product yet. It's still a lot of stuff in the works, but the more people we get talking about it, using it, trying it out, the more feedback I can start getting, which, helps steer the development. Especially, in these early stages, it really helped, kind of shape what InputMapper 2 is going to start looking like. And it's just great to have the word out there about it. So that's about it for today, guys. Make sure you check us out on the forums and subscribe to us on YouTube here if you haven't already. Have a good one.